Sorry, you might. Yeah, that better. You're okay. Yeah.
The Grapevine on the Smooth Breakfast Show. Entertainment buzz with the gossip, local and global. Oh, celebrity gist.
You know what I want to say to that?
What?
So I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to be quiet.
Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8:15
Let
a.m.
me go, let me go. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Alrighty, you're welcome. If you just joined us, it's time for the Grapevine 981 on Smooth 98.1. And of course, you, Lagos, are welcome to be part of our conversation. As always, leading us through conversations is Chef Jeff 3000. Good
Good
morning.
morning. I love you 3000. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. And also James Silas.
Yeah!
Oh, wow.
Good
Look
morning,
at that.
Lagos.
Look at that. I never get used to that. Happy New Year, James Silas.
Happy New Year, Coyote, Bakroy, and the whole of
It's
Lagos.
okay if you said you're kind of bigger. It's fine.
Okay. So that's why I see. That's why I started back. Okay.
Oh wow. Lagos, you can be part of our talk as always. 01 no, not 01 0809 444 0981 is where you can send your messages to. We're talking about a number of things today. You know, Burna Boy and Shatta Wale amongst them. But first, let's take a moment to remember Betty White. Um, you know, we should have talked about this a few days ago, but you know, I think better late than never, really. Uh, um, Her death is less than 3 weeks before her 100th birthday,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, if you don't know her, she's won five primetime Emmys
Awards,
and
yeah.
daytime Emmys, and I mean, she's just an icon in all
You
in
know,
all
she was just a
senses.
hilarious comedian and actress from the Golden Girls, The Bold and the Beautiful. And, you know, she was someone who, she also stood for equal rights in terms of like black people as well. For instance, she had a show way back in the 1950s. And when she had a black tap dancer on the show, they said, no, get him off the show. And she said, nope, he stays on the show, live with it. Gave the guy more screen time. Shortly after that, they canceled her show. And people have been sharing all sorts of memories about her from her past time as a women's truck driver in the Women's Army back in the war days. And then just the level of her career, just shy of her 100th birthday. You know, the tweets used to go back and forth about somebody protect Betty White because we must protect her and let her live forever kind of thing. So it's very, very sad to see that it's New Year's Eve that she passes away.
Mm.
We do know that there will be a documentary coming out about her on the 17th of January that's going to have the likes of Robert Redford, Ryan Reynolds coming on board with that as well. So that's a way of trying to honor her and her legacy. And, you know, I think that at this point in time, you know, she was asked a while ago, what would you like to hear from God when you're at heaven's door? And she said, come on in. Here's Alan. Alan is her third husband, who she was really, really in love with. That she didn't remarry anybody else after he passed away
Mm.
all those years ago in the 1980s. So I hope that those are the words that she's heard. It's what a wonderful career she's left behind. She was totally funny at every single point in time. She was like a one-woman show, to be honest. So I guess I'm showing my age when I say the Golden Girls here, but it's still an iconic show even up until today. So
Yeah.
rest in peace, Betty White.
Yes. Rest in peace, Betty White. Okay, so you know what? Let's jump in and talk about also well, this story that's been really, really trending all over social media. It's like a war of words between Nigeria and Ghana, or at least one person in Nigeria and Ghana. It's Shatta Wale and Burna Boy. So remember we talked about this last week when
Yes.
we talked about how Shatta Wale came up and said Nigerian artists don't support
Yeah.
Ghanaian music, and then someone here mentioned that you know what? Oh, you mentioned James Silas. You mentioned that um, people are bored. Really, that's why they attended his concert, and then he shouldn't let the success of that concert, get to his head.
Mm.
But now he's been talking tough. He's been talking about, having a fist fight with, Burna Boy. But I mean, what do you think? What are your thoughts about this?
Yeah, it's just funny. Actually, Burna Boy and Shatta Wale used to be, in quote, great friends. I mean,
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to that bit.
So but this whole thing, I knew Burna Boy was going to say something about it because for the way the stories are going, yeah, Burna Boy or Shatta Wale give an impression that um no, it was Burna that gave an impression that Shatta Wale was referring or trying to sub him with that comment or the series of comments that he's been making both on stage and online. So, but it's just interesting how the whole thing is breaking out to be. I mean, with them calling each other out and going into details about their personal lives and stuff that happened between the two of them.
Give us the details.
I mean, we have there are parts where Burna Boy has said, Shatta Wale, here's the word. Can I say rapist on radio? Okay, so calls me rapist, calls him all sort of other names that
I don't
he
even
cannot
know
really
why
say.
both of them would be having such a conversation on social media, because he mentioned that Burna Boy performed that did that at some point in time, and then he also said he did that.
Yes.
So I'm wondering why the first they would even have that type of conversation, and then why people would even still give them the attention when they even put that type of information out there.
Well, attention, it depends on how you say it. It's just when this thing is right there on your timeline, there's no way you're going to say it, people are going to react. So not necessarily giving them
I think they both should be
attention.
investigated, especially Shatta Wale. Yeah, I mean,
Shatta.
I think they both should be investigated. Chef, what do you think?
I don't have much to add to this story, to be honest. I'm like, there's some listener out there's like, Chef just does not care. I just feel like Whiskey said enough that needs to be said. In terms of all one Africa, and however anybody wants to react to that, that's really their own problem. But to be honest, I can't really give any attention to this, to be honest, because it's just really okay. He said, she said, and then what next?
Yeah, what next? Are we gonna see a physical fight? Because I'm looking forward to that.
No, you're not.
We're not.
No,
I'm a bit
it's like
disappointed.
Soulja Boy and Chris Brown.
I'm a bit disappointed then, because I mean, there's that. We've seen lots of memes on social media where people are showing how short Shatta Wale is, how tall Burna Boy is, and how it's going to turn out if they do get into a fight. But it will be nice
we know
to
who
see
would win, but still,
who's gonna win.
No,
I don't know who's gonna win. That's what I'm asking.
Green, white, green.
Okay, but it would be nice to see if they put out records. I mean, it's been a while we've seen diss tracks, so I don't know. I'm
interested.
hoping
I think
to
I'm
see.
too grown for that.
It's not a question of being grown
I'm
now.
too grown for that.
All right, Lagos, if you're out there and you want to add your 2 cents to our conversation, please jump in and send your messages. Like we mentioned, it's 0809-444-0981. But speaking of gratitude and other things related, let's talk about Pato ranking. So he's having a back and forth with K Solo, right? So K Solo is his producer, and he talked about
used to be. I don't.
Well, used to be
I
his
can't even
producer.
remember K Solo producing for Shatta Wale. I'm sorry, did I say Shatta Wale? For Pato ranking. Maybe he did that, but I really can't place a song right now. Just we can find out later.
So he's talking about, and I think it's a problem with Nigerian artists and producers in general. So he's talking about the fact that he called out Timaya and said, Timaya was the only person that supported his career, and we all do know that, first time I heard a Pato ranking song was with Timaya. It was that Alubarika song, and that song blew him out. I think at some point, Pato ranking was signed to Timaya's label. And he brought Timaya on stage. I even saw the concert. He brought Timaya on stage, and then he said, Timaya said he mentioned a couple of other people's names in the song "Celebrate," right? Celebrate me, but he didn't mention his name. And then he acknowledged that, Timaya helped his career. But now K Solo is saying he produced a lot of songs for this guy, but this guy did not acknowledge him. So I think it's a producer entitlement type thing. Or I mean, what are your thoughts?
No, so I won't say it's a producer entitlement thing. It's any other thing but producer. So it's, let's say, a big brother or a friend, and maybe I don't want to say entitlement, just maybe because we can still give it to what's his name, K Solo, that K Solo truly, because from the past
I don't remember any K Solo song with Pato ranking.
No, not even. That's what I'm saying. Not about. That's why I said not about the producer. It's about somebody who was up there, who meets a younger person and then sort of became the bridge that got that younger person to where another connect is, that now also blew. Because when it comes to opportunities, you can get an opportunity, and even with that opportunity, you still won't blow. And then for the record, Pato ranking wasn't signed to Timaya's label. It was Pato ranking had another label.
Okay.
But sort of got Timaya, or more like, I don't know how to put it. When this guy Starboy and Rasaki, they call him Rasaki now. What's his other name? LAX.
Okay.
LAX, yes. So it wasn't like he was signed to Starboy, but there's this merger, or this, what usually happens when you have a bigger artist who has a bigger label, your label will collaborate with that person and then float you more or less on. So not necessarily because you've been signed directly to that particular label. And that's what happened with Pastor Rankin and Timaya in that case.
But then again, a lot of people actually think that Timaya
people thought
blew
so.
his career.
Yes, I mean, but if you a relatively unknown artist makes music with a big artist, yes, there's a chance that you're going to blow. Do you understand?
Yes.
But sometimes it doesn't even work out like that. It's like Thames and Wizkid. Thames had gotten a level of popularity, and then that collaboration with Wizkid just sort of blew
took her
out
out
all.
there.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So it can happen, but that's not necessarily. It doesn't happen like that every time. But in this particular case, K-Solo just feels like, oh, I was the one that introduced you to Maya. You made a song together, and from there, you've now become who you are now, and then you did not acknowledge
So that's
me
what
at
I'm
that point
saying.
in
It's a
time.
producer entitlement mentality.
Yeah,
you can
I
put it
think
like
I,
that.
I think if
I
they
think
pay producers more.
it's a fair point, to be honest, because when you look at things, okay, let's see, let's use Thames as the example here. What is it that made her really famous? Mr. Rebel, right?
Yes.
And we talk about the writing and her performance of the song, but we're not saying that it's the producer behind the beat that made her blow. All right, but she knows that she can give that person credit, and she's credited that person legally speaking on the track. That should be the same thing with K Solo. At the end of the day, it's not every time that the producer comes at the forefront. All right, you have to be like on. Let's even look on the international scene. You
background.
must be like a Timberland who's throwing your vocals there, or you're a Dark Child who's just throwing something in there, so you just know it's him. But otherwise, you're a background person who's making that person grow up. And you just have to, as long as they've acknowledged you on the record and put it all over there, it's okay to talk about the artists who collaborate with and help to grow the song itself. Because the producer, you play a lot, you played your part, you've helped them grow, you're knowledgeable at that part. That they didn't call you out at a thing that was a live concert.
If you were paid for it,
Doesn't
I don't
really
think
matter.
I should have to call you up. We've seen this too many times. We saw this with Sam Clef and Wizkid, amongst other people.
So sorry, in this same on like a what's it called, related story, when we talk about, we have Thames, Tenny and Sheezy. They had the same
Yeah, they
something
had the
similar like this
same
a while back, where Sheezy is saying that you did not pay
acknowledgement.
homage or acknowledge me. But I'm saying that, look, it's not by force. You don't need to come in public space like to say, oh, you did not, and what, because they called Timaya up on stage, and well, I'm sure Timaya was joking when he said, oh, you were calling some names in that song, did not call me. But sometimes you really, when you're doing these things, you might not just even think about it. You just make your music, and then it's okay. And I'll call you on stage and say, okay, Timaya is my guy, and so on. K-Solo shouldn't have. I don't think K-Solo should have written all of these things in this, because
He's just looking for some
at the end of the
attention.
day,
I mean,
man,
we see
look,
this all the time with
you
Nigerian
don't owe that
artists.
popularity to. I mean, this guy does not owe you all of the whole hype. Yes, you would have paid you for your song or for your music or whatever you would have done, and then your song, your name is on that record. Whether you like it or not, you're still collecting your royalties or whatever. So I don't owe you that hype verbal just to say K-Solo is my guy. Come on, do your thing, man.
Let's go on a quick break. When we get back, we'll do some more talking. Don't forget you're listening to The Grapevine right here on Smooth 90.1. Stay with us.
Look, man, I've paid you for the song, I've paid you for the record. Okay, I'm on stage, I've now become this big and whatever. Yes, I might, I mean, it's a personal thing. The guy might, see, the guy, they talk about how they connect you, this, but you know, if for some people who have been in this industry, the way these other bigger artists can treat these younger ones, they won't tell you everything, you know, because K-Solo was up here before. For real.
A connection, it doesn't mean that it defines the rest of your career. At some point in time, you just grew up by yourself. I mean, you know, Wizkid was not connected to Beyonce at the beginning of his career. He had his own success level and his producers that, you know, it wasn't, right? But he had different producers and different collaborators and his own talent that got him to that level that he moves on with his own life. It's the same thing you should be doing. Like, nobody ever hops onto the stage and goes and calls the producer of a song to join.
But then
him on
again,
stage.
though, we don't ever acknowledge producers enough. However, this is why I think producers should have, like, there should be some type of royalties that's paid to producers.
They get it.
No,
They
I
get
don't.
it.
In
They're
Nigeria,
paid. Yes.
they do.
Yeah.
See, the
They're
music
paid.
business has gone past that old time. Now, once you're making that music, even that's why you always hear them on the record. You hear already K-Solo, you hear whoever the producer is. That's part of your.
So that's why some artists say that they're broke, because everything is going towards their management. All right, part of that management might be your producer, even if it's an old producer. The moment that they're on a track with you and that track is getting paid, whatever is coming through, some is going there.
You know it's 50-50. Producer gets 50.
Producer.
Yes. On this place sheet, it's 50-50.
I didn't know that.
Oh yes.
The amount of money you pay,
that is yes.
the amount of money you pay, 2008 days, if you wanted a basic track from Cobhams, you were paying nothing less than $400K.
Dollars. Okay, well, he wasn't getting paid in dollars.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right, you also can join us on YouTube. It's youtube.com/smooth981 FM Lagos. Okay, to catch the behind the scenes of the conversations we're having in the studio. This is the Grapevine, and of course, Chef Jeff 3000.
Yep, I
And
love you 3000.
yes, of course, James Silas is here.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I don't know if I'm ever going to get used to that. I'm not sure I'm ever going to get used to that.
Try.
Okay, so we've got a few messages. This one here from Tyre from Aja says Burna and Shatta Wale should submit themselves to the nearest police, but ignorant fans are adding fuel to the fire over social media. The fight wouldn't have happened. The fight wouldn't happen last. I feel like Shatta Wale is screaming for a collabo, and I see that coming too. All this artists, producer dynamics is also always complex to understand. How K Solo collected his money for his services rather than look for endorsements he gets from others. He can repeat his success with another artist.
Yep.
My point exactly.
Simple.
All right, let's jump into the next story. Let's talk about Portable Zazu. I like how you say Zeh. You guys know this is that song?
Sorry, yeah, of course.
Oh wow!
Do it again.
Don't worry, it's fine. It's past. The moment is gone. Okay, so the lady accusing singer Portable of impregnating her makes a U-turn, and she says she was only joking. Now let's put a background to this. So a lady simply known as a BK, who went viral by claiming that fast-rising Nigerian singer Portable impregnated her, has made a U-turn as she said she didn't have a child for the singer. She said she was joking with the video, adding that she did not know the video would go viral. So, I mean, what do you guys make of this?
I think that people have to be very, very mindful about things. I feel like if people start responding to something that you said that was false and you thought was a joke, if you thought it was a joke and were not cloud chasing, you have this sensibility, or you should have the sensibility to take it down. Be like, say I was just joking, it's like, okay, you're not married to Hugh Jackman, or you're not Brad Pitt's new girlfriend. All of those kind of things. Situation, clear it up straight away. That's what you should be doing. But when you leave it there, this to me just says you're chasing clout.
Yep.
And it's a dangerous thing because you never know what damage that has caused to some of the relationship that he might have with somebody else that's going on right now. It's like, what is the basis of this story? Is there any truth to it? Blah, 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 blah. You're really just setting up wahala. And just chilling behind the comfort of your phone, like, oh, great, I'm famous now. And then you come forward with this kind of statement. Unfortunately, people get away with these things. That's the honest truth.
I was going to ask
Maybe
if
this year we
legal
can see whether there's a
implications.
possibility of things not being that side anymore. But it's not like you can actually really, it would take a lot to track this woman down and be like, okay, here's legal action being brought against you for this or that. But just be mindful of what you say. Be mindful of what you say. The clout is not really all that worth it, because all you're just going to get next up is just hatred and insults and stuff like that. So was it really worth it?
Silas?
And people actually forget that, these videos or these things that we throw online will not go anywhere. Somebody has saved it. It will be there for, for some time. And then you put your face out there and just, well, how do I put it?
But there might have been a relationship with the both of them, though.
Nah, forget it. With the whole, how will I put it? The rejoinder or the rebuttal of this particular story is actually that she was just joking, just clapped.
Do you know what I think?
Yeah.
I actually think that they know each other. And
No,
because I don't imagine someone just coming out to say, you know what, I have a baby for you, when they don't even know each other.
Let me tell you, one time we had two girls that came out the same way to say, one of them saying that she was pregnant for Davido. I think in that case they actually tracked the girl down.
Yeah, they did.
The police, they got the girl and stuff, and then she still said, "Oh, it was just a joke."
Okay, it was a joke.
Yeah, so, and I believe this is the same thing. It's just one stupid person.
But how do you prevent a fan from saying that, I mean, because I imagine now that she's a fan, right? And she's just trying to, today's world is all about going viral, right? So how do you prevent people to do such things?
You can't prevent them. People will they have their phone. You can't stop them from doing whatever they want to do with their phones. You can't.
Somebody else can come up tomorrow and say, yes, I got pregnant too by him, and that just continues the whole story. So you can put a statement out, and then that's really it. So at least even when they do a he say she say, at least you've denied anything happened. You denied the person, no such interaction taking place, and it's just that you put a statement and you move on with your life. That's just really it. But you can't stop these things from happening. It will happen from time to time.
This one here from America from Amo says, as regards to the Shatta Wale beef with Nigerian artists, I still don't get it. I recall years ago we were listening to African musicians with no collaborations with Nigerian artists. As a kid, I recall the likes of Brenda Fassie, Von Shaka Shaka, Awilo, and the likes. They dominated our airways for years, but we never complained. All we wanted is good music. Thank you so much. That's Emeka. Ty comes back to say, looking for clout is very dangerous and far-reaching. That's how two city girls. Oh, you just mentioned that now.
Hmm.
Two city girls accused Davido that he got her sister pregnant, and he tracked them, and the response from the people was mixed. People need to be wise or seize their phones. Alrighty, let's move on to our next story real quick. Let's talk about Tenny. I saw a clip of this one, and I was, in fact, it was all sorts of funny when I first read the story. Okay, so Nigerian artist Tenny Apata, professionally known as Tenny, has cleared the air on gunshots that disrupted her performance at a carnival in River State. In a viral video, which surfaced on Sunday, the singer fled the stage at an event which was held at Baguma town, Asari Toru local government area of River State. Okay, so some media outlets, have reported gunshots. The gunshot scare was a kidnap attempt on the singer. Um, but yeah, she's come out to clear the air on this one, though. But then again, how serious is this?
Unfortunately, I have seen firsthand how reporters twist stories and don't report the truth because they're not. I mean, to be honest, they're freelancers who just show up, and then that's how things now get into the papers, into the headlines. But you know what? At the end of the day, when you look at the situation here, when people think about the East, they start to think kidnapping, kidnapping, kidnapping. So of course, a gunshot and people running off stage. That's the first thought that unfortunately some people would go for. When it's not really as bad as that, or I guess at least that there's a bit of more
About a gunshot at
safety.
the carnival, though, that
Yeah,
is scary.
but
Though.
she said that there was something that happened backstage. A fight broke out backstage, and suddenly there was a gunshot going on. I'm like, well, I don't know. I hope that it's not a case whereby it's security people having like a fracas at the back of stage, and then suddenly guns are flying everywhere. That would be very disturbing, to be honest. But the main thing is that she's okay and nobody was hurt. I hope that's the situation there. And then everybody, unfortunately, people pay for this concert, so I don't know how that's going to be compensated.
Well, that money's gone.
Yeah,
I mean, that's out there.
yeah.
But
So,
it looked like she finished the performance. Even though, yeah,
from
I
the
feel like
viral video, I saw her.
it was just
I
a
mean,
short clip that we saw. We don't really know if she would have
Mm.
finished the performance. And then we're talking about a place where it's not like there's unrest, but anything can happen. Boys can just start shooting in the air. And
so it's
stuff.
expected that she should
that's
expect
sort of
such
thing.
things.
And it's Buguma actually. This is just one of those correct places where anything can happen. And I saw some security personnel there as well. And I thought she had finished her performance, and they had boys or people at the back, and the security personnel would have just released some back, just to clear the way for them for her to pass. So I don't think there was any attempt to. And she actually said that it's not like she was going to be kidnapped. I'm wondering why would they want to kidnap her? So well,
Oh, this is Nigeria. I mean, anything is possible.
well,
But hey, let's see what you have to say, Lagos. Don't forget, we mentioned you can catch what we're doing live in the studio by heading down to our YouTube page. It's youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. So this one says, good morning. I think the best way to settle the problem between Shatta Wale and Burna Boy is for them to have a real physical fight, boxing. Let the two of them start training now. Maybe in 6 months. 6 months time from now till date, it will be fixed and managed by professional boxing promoters. A venue will be chosen in one of the African countries, and they will make so much money from that. What do you say? Not Nigeria and Ghana. Austin from Satellite. I think we heard this with Drake and Chris Brown at some point.
that was Soldier Boy and maybe
No, there was
but
Soulja Boy
and
and
Chris Brown.
No, Soldier Boy and Bow Wow. Then Drake
Yeah.
and Chris Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I'm looking forward to this. It will make a lot of sense.
now it will never happen.
I just told you green, white, green, white, green.
It
Okay,
will never happen.
that's all.
And Ty comes back to say, Tenny didn't run. She wanted to call MC. Wow. I don't know how I feel about this. Yeah, she didn't run. She wanted to call MC Oluomo for their case.
Wow.
Jokes.
All right. So let's talk about Yemi Alade. And, well, she's a bit angry. So she's called someone very stupid for condemning her music. So according to the story, it says popular singer Yemi Alade has slammed a Twitter user who criticized her, saying she no longer makes good music. Now, in a Twitter post on Monday, the Johnny Crooner warned her detractors against making negative comments. So the question here is this: is there some truth to this? Does she actually still make good music? Let's be honest. Let's put our 2 cents out
So first of all, this person said after Johnny there was nothing that she did that was good. That is a lie.
there. Okay.
There were actually a couple of good things that she had done in past that time. But at the same time, you should not be. This is not the first person that's making a negative comment about your music. It is not the first person that's going to be making a negative comment tomorrow. It's not the first one. I mean, for goodness sakes, I mean, isn't it very ironic that I'm the one who's saying things right now, considering how many times I said negative things that were factual, in my view, about her songwriting abilities. So at the end of the day, you have to be able to take criticism. I have to stop saying end of the day, right? That's my word all the time. You have to take the criticism and just ignore it, because you're going to have the good and the bad, and you just have to figure out how to actually feel that and improve upon yourself and continue focusing on doing good music. That is the issue that should be focusing on here now, not focusing on responding directly to your fans. Because if you respond to every single negative comment that comes your way, you're going to go insane. To be honest, there's a way that negative feedback stays with you longer than the positive side of things. So you should not be focusing on that. You need to just channel your energies toward putting out more music, whatever you're doing business wise, and focus on that, to be honest. But also, I'm still going to add, please improve on your songwriting and maybe hire a couple of writers and take things forward to the next level.
I was just going to ask James. James, so in time past, she's known to put out, I mean, for me, the first sets of songs that she put out there, like Bamboo, those other good songs, I think they were really good. Now she's started to do Afrobeat type music. It's gone all across Africa, right? Now, do we see that changing anytime soon? Because this model seems to work for her. But then again, it's not as, how do I put this now? It's not the best type of music in some people's opinion.
So at the end of the day,
Yeah,
so
yes, take it.
at the end of
Take
the
it.
day, when it comes to making music, you, the creator, you do what you feel like works for you and your team. We, the listeners or the fans out there, will choose whether they like it or not. Now, Chef just said something about negative feedback. So I don't think let's not call it negative. So because that negative from me will not be me giving you negative. I'm not giving you negative. I'm
It's
just giving you my own
constructive.
feedback. Yeah, I'm just giving my own feedback. So if you now perceive it as negative, it's left to you to deal with
If I
it the way
say
you
your
want
music
to.
is trash, and that's not
That's how you feel
constructive.
about it. Somebody else will say it's beautiful. Do you understand? So
Okay.
that's how you feel, not negative. It's negative to the receiver if the person takes that as negative.
But let's even think about this though.
Mm.
What's the last song that she put out there that we really can remember? Because for me, the biggest one has to be Johnny. We've heard a couple of other songs, but I can't seem to remember anyone.
There were
No,
a couple.
so
There were a couple. I will admit that she's had,
Okay,
and
so
I said
give
this
me one
before. For
name.
all of the criticism that I put about her, she's had a
So
couple of
give me
really good
one
tracks.
name.
But I can't remember right now. But I can say that about a lot of other artists, including even like a whiskey. I can say the same thing
Well, I think you can
about
say
like
that about
just not
Whiskey.
being able to not being able to remember some tracks, some great tracks off the top of my head right now. If I went onto my phone, I would find it. All right. So, but the thing is that she does need to work on her songwriting. She does need to work on whatever. Like right now, her Mama Africa thing that she's trying to do, which I hate as her title because it's not. There's Angelique Kidjo right over there. To be honest, if it's getting her to go to different African countries and doing more touring, that's where the money is at. So she might not really tamper with that particular strategy if the money is rolling in a whole lot more through that process and enjoying some holiday time in the process. But the fact of the matter is, you just can't respond to everything negative that comes your way. You can't go and single out a particular person that's giving you negative feedback or saying something negative about you, because you never know. Tomorrow, you might have done something better, and then they will now say, "Oh wow, I used to think that she was bad. She's a great person now," in terms of what she's doing. So you just
Okay, so
you can't focus on
it's
it. You
seasons,
really have you
time
can't
and
focus. You should
seasons
stay
and
focus
times.
on your business and just keep going. That's it, really.
All right.
and then just talking about that Mama Africa thing that you just mentioned, I just feel like Yemi is too young to be Mama
Yeah.
Africa.
Yeah.
Young.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Ty comes back to say, if we argue with everybody on the road, we would never get to our
Thank
destination.
you.
But also ask for direction. Songwriters to get there in grand fashion. Okay, so that's talking about Yemi Alade. Charles Chidozie comes to say, Shatta Wale won't go one round with Burna Boy. He won't. He won't. He won't go out alive. Basically, I would really love to see that fight happen. Here's another story that caught my attention. I think this one's a bit funny. So, actor Jack Whitehall admits stealing from posh hotels. I wonder how many people do this. So, the Hollywood actor and comedian has admitted stealing. Had admitted to stealing as much as he can from hotels, including light bulbs, batteries, from TV remotes, and Yeah, I mean, but this is not strange news, really. We know people
No,
that
it's not.
steal towels, soaps, bulbs. I mean,
Well, you
are you
know,
one of them, Jeff?
this is a
No, you didn't
biological
answer the
thing.
question.
This is
Though.
a biological thing in his own particular situation. Okay, that's what it is right now.
Yes.
See, please, if I'm staying in a hotel and you left me like
You
extra
take the
soap,
soap.
extra soap, it will go back home with me because it was for me. That's why I was in that hotel.
Yes.
All right. It's one thing when you're raiding the midi bar illegally or whatever. That's another thing entirely. All right. But there are some things you can take, and it's not really a big deal. It's not news, this whole level of thing. But for him, it's that his mother used to do it, and so this is how you see the impact of that mother and parenting kind of like your decisions impacting your children.
Mm-hmm.
Now, him admitting this, I don't know. I guess maybe the next time he goes to a hotel, there might be some extra
Really
vigilance
careful,
kind of
yeah.
thing going on there. But to be honest, people do this almost all the time, and I think hotel people are aware of it. They have their records of it, but they don't like to pursue. They just plan to stock up a bit more. Like we know that we're going to need extra soap if Jeff is coming,
Or in
kind of
this
thing.
case, light
So
bulbs.
I mean, like some of the things you take that people take, it's not like you find and figure out where you're going to use them, or whatever. But you never know. Sometimes your remote control at home, the battery has pafuka that you don't want to go and buy. So reach into that hotel bag, mate.
All right.
Not that I'm promoting that lifestyle, please. I beg you. I'm just saying that it happens.
You kind
It
of sounded
happens.
like you did, right?
No, no, it happens.
Okay, we're about to wrap up our show, but in one word, James, I'd like to ask you this. Kanye West, Julia Fox, they seem like kindred spirits right now. There's romance in the air. I mean, last week we talked about him buying a house just across his wife's house. So, I mean, where is this going?
I just think first we don't know, just rumors until something is announced or we see like a proper proof to say yes. Because he bought a house opposite Kim not too long ago, and so I'm wondering what would I mean. You have to
Is he trying to
focus
spark some
focus on your
jealousy?
focus. What exactly? It's possible, but Kanye West, you can't rule out anything from Kanye West. He just has his way. So I mean, fingers crossed.
All right. Well, that's our show. Thank you so much, analysts. You can find them on social media at Chef Jeff 3000, yes, across all platforms.
Yep, yep.
And also, he's a great chef, by the way, so you could reach out to him.
Yeah, it's not just the name; it actually is the job. So yes.
And James Silas.
Yes, on social media as well. All James Salas, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Clubhouse, everywhere.
Clubhouse. I don't know. I need to get on Clubhouse. Anyways, that's the story for another day. We'll talk about that. Lagos, there's more to come. Stay with us. Great music lined up for you all the way till 11. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah.